Coming up next on Arizona Horizon, an update of the troubled Affordable Health Care Act from a local navigator assisting those signing up for the program. ASU is part of a new research center that will use X-ray lasers to help develop drugs targeting specific diseases, and we'll hear how the Arizona Commission on the Arts will use $1 million in new state funding. Those stories next on Arizona Horizon.
Arizona Horizon is made possible by contributions from the Friends of 8, members of your Arizona PBS station. Thank you.
Good evening and welcome to Arizona Horizon. I'm Ted Simons. President Obama today announced that insurance companies can continue offering plans that would otherwise be canceled under the Affordable Health Care Act. The reprieve will last for 1 year. The move comes as a myriad of problems is slowing the ACA's progress. Joining us now is Tara McCollum-Plesh of the Arizona Alliance for Community Health Centers. The Alliance is charged with helping people sign up for health care coverage. It's good to see you again.
Thank you. Good to see you too.
Yeah, I know you're very busy these days. What are you seeing? What are you hearing out there?
Well, we're hearing a lot of criticism, and a lot of it is justified. We understand the frustration. However, we're staying very positive about it because we have so many people coming to us who've either never had insurance or have gone years without health insurance because they have pre-existing conditions, they were employed, lost their job, were reemployed, and have an employer who doesn't provide health insurance. So we see a great amount of need out there, people who are very anxious to get health care coverage. So that's the part we see most often, quite honestly.
Numbers, less than 750 in Arizona with signing up for the coverage, I guess getting their a little bit of a surprise. That seems awfully low.
Well, the numbers that we got yesterday from Health and Human Services is that we actually completed 17,220 applications. So, and that is for the marketplace, and over 7,000 of those folks were eligible for the subsidies. So they're still kind of working through all of that, and this is fairly complicated. You can imagine if you have employer-based health insurance and your employer chooses a plan for you, and all you have to choose is whether you want PPO, HMO, or an HSA. That's difficult enough, but these folks that are going on the marketplace are faced with 8 different plans, or 8 different health plans, and 109 choices amongst those health plans. So it becomes a little complicated, and you throw in the subsidies. It's going to take some time to get these people through the system and help steer them towards what they need. And we're going to be using very trusted brokers to help us with that process because it is very complicated.
So I want to get these numbers straight then. Okay. 17,000 applied and are maybe somewhere in the chain, but 700 or so have actually gone through because those are the numbers that are being reported.
739.
There we go. Okay,
actually completed.
So we got 17,000 out there that might eventually be completed.
Correct, because they're in the queue.
There we go. All right, so that makes better sense. All right.
They're in the queue.
Are you surprised that 17,000, only 17,000 have signed up?
You know, actually, we were surprised that there were as many as 17,000, quite honestly. Yesterday, there were a group of us who met, and we were all taking bets on what that number would be. We all lowballed it. The closest was 450. So we were really quite surprised that that many people were in the queue at this point.
The people that are in the queue, these 17,000 that you want to add to the 739 that are already through, what kind of problems are they facing? Obviously, you mentioned indecision, you mentioned the complicated process and all. The bugs that we keep hearing about, the problems that are here, there, and everywhere. What are they seeing? What are you seeing out there?
Well, there were a lot of people who get about halfway through the application and then they have difficulty getting through the rest of it because of the glitches in the system. What I'm hearing anecdotally, because I am not a navigator on the front line, nor am I a certified application counselor, so I don't really know what those frontline people are experiencing with the folks that they're meeting. But what I've heard anecdotally is more and more people are actually getting through the entire application process and getting to the end. But I think what we're seeing here in these numbers are those folks that started early and keep going back and attempting to get through that system. I really, at this point on, I think that it's going to be a much easier process, and we've been assured by November 30th that it's going to be much easier for these folks.
You confident that's going to happen?
Yes, can I say fairly confident?
You can say whatever you want. Hey, and
Fairly confident.
And the president today said that he was going to give a one-year reprieve now on folks who had their insurance policies canceled because they didn't meet the requirements set forth by the ACA. What are you seeing and hearing a lot of folks, the people on the front lines of your organization, are they running into a lot of folks saying, I'm here only because I had my insurance policy canceled?
Actually, we haven't had anybody at this point who has reported back to us that people who got that termination notice were coming to them to apply in the marketplace. And so I think it was more a matter of they were angry, they vented, but we're waiting for next steps. We didn't see a rush to the marketplace because they got a termination notice.
And they got the termination notice because the insurance company decided, or I guess assessed the fact, that this policy, whatever policy they had, was not up to minimum standards of the ACA?
Correct. It didn't meet the 10 essential benefits requirements under the ACA. So they got this notice. Now, it really would be up to that health plan to work with their customer to ensure that they get a different plan, and many of those health plans are actually the same plans that are on the marketplace. So it really behooves many of these large commercial health plans to make sure that they get these people enrolled either on the marketplace or in their private market, and that they bring these, for lack of a better word, I don't know if there's a better word for this, but they're substandard policies up to a better policy that will cover more and have more benefits for these folks.
In total, there's a lot of negativity right now regarding the Affordable Care Act, the signing up process, the whole 9 yards.
Right.
From where you sit, obviously you have to deal with these people and help these folks, and you are dealing through the Affordable Care Act and with federal grants and such, but still in all, is that negativity justified?
I would say in some situations, the criticism is justified. The negativity, no, I do not believe the negativity is justified, because there are a lot of people who are really doing their best to ensure that everybody who needs and wants healthcare coverage receives that healthcare coverage, whether it's Medicaid, whether it's the CHIP program for children, or the marketplace, or a private health insurance plan.
I wanted to ask real quickly about Medicaid. Are you seeing a lot of folks, hearing from a lot of folks that wind up on access?
Well, we had, just in our system, we had over 11,000 people. That's just for AACHC, and overall, I think that is really about the area that we are right now with Medicaid, is well over 11,000 people in that month. A lot of it is because these people were dropped when there was a freeze on childless adults. And they were probably the first ones to line up to come back and reapply for Medicaid.
I guess they're willing to go through whatever they have to go through to get what they once had. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
We'll see what happens here. I know November 30th, there's also a lot of sunshine and daffodils out there by November 30th, correct?
I hope so.
All right.
We're counting on it.
All right, we'll check back with you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
ASU is teaming with 5 other research universities to form a new science and technology center that will use X-ray lasers to produce molecular images to better understand how viruses and other bioparticles work. ASU Regents Professor of Physics John Spence will serve as the center's Director of Science. He joins us now. Good to have you here.
Thanks, Ted.
The new Science and Technology Center. Describe it for us.
Well, it's a consortium of 6 or 7 universities which the National Science Foundation has established. We're the largest component of it. The lead institution is in Buffalo. And the purpose of it is to use the X-ray laser, the first X-ray laser in the world, actually, that the Department of Energy built for $600 million near Stanford. It's in a tunnel 2 miles long, to try to get movies of molecular machines at work.
Now, this tunnel is over there in Stanford.
Correct.
The center will be based at the University of Buffalo.
They actually handle the outreach and
Okay.
the educational component. We are the lead institution for the science, the basic research. And the other universities are Stanford, Milwaukee, UCS, and Rice. It was a remarkable competition. You know, we wrote this proposal 2 years ago. There were, I think, about 300 applications. They made 3 awards to Harvard, Stanford, and us.
Wow, well,
So
congratulations.
1% odds.
I was going to say congratulations on that, and I guess that's why there's such an emphasis here at ASU. Let's talk about what will be emphasized. X-ray lasers to what? Look at molecular level activity? What are we talking about here?
Well, if you think of chest X-ray, if you imagine blowing up the magnification so you could actually see the atoms, that's what we're trying to do. We want to make a movie of molecular machines. But the problem is that to see such fine detail on a chest X-ray as the atoms themselves, you'd need enormously intense illumination, and so intense that you destroy the thing you're looking at.
Yes.
And the breakthrough here has been to understand that if you make the pulse so brief, sufficiently brief, it's the exposure time of this thing, the shutter speed. The shutter speed of this machine is a millionth of a second or less. And it's so brief that we can actually get a snapshot of this thing before it blows up, before we damage it. So we've outrun radiation damage, as we say. And so we can get snapshots without interfering with what we're looking at. And we can see the molecules that are involved in things like drug design and, as you said, viruses and so forth.
And that would, I think we have a kind of an animation, a simulation of what's
Sure.
going on here. It looks like these are spacecraft docking, for goodness sakes, and these
Yeah,
are actually what's
yeah.
happening at a molecular level. But I wanted to ask you about that, because taking an X-ray of anything at any level is, you've got to have some caution there.
Yeah.
And you're talking about some pretty sensitive stuff down here, but you say if you make that shutter exposure quick enough, you can avoid the damage?
Exactly correct. That's the breakthrough on which this is all based.
Wow. Now, what are we looking at here? This is a virus just causing mayhem here?
This is work from Rossman's lab, and it's an animation. It's made up of bits and pieces from, it's actually a simulation made up of stills from
Yes.
different techniques.
Yes.
So we'd like to do that live, or rather we'd like to at least see what the joints are doing, and we might be able to do that by making little crystals of the parts of the joints to understand the mechanism. And similar thing would go work with the oncogenes that are thought to cause cancer. And I'm working with Petra Fromm, who's very important in an international authority in photosynthesis. And so all green plants, of course, split water to make the oxygen we breathe. And she's already made good progress in making a movie of that process. That maintains our biosphere. It digests CO2, which is, of course, the global warming key thing. So it's a really fundamental to life on Earth. And we'd like to see that happening, see those molecules doing their job.
So you're basically doing molecular documentaries.
Absolutely.
Now, to do these documentaries, you need a reason, and you need to find a kind of an end result. That end result, I would imagine, find the way that these particles and viruses act, find a drug that addresses how they act.
Exactly correct. And in fact, we already have a paper on sleeping sickness. So this affects about 60 million people. We had a paper in Nature last year with a group from Hamburg on how drug molecules work to prevent the enzyme which is essential for that disease to be fatal. And so that can be inhibited by putting a drug molecule onto the right protein to prevent the catalytic activity of the protein.
Is there a concern, though, that while you're watching, you're documenting what's happening here, and you're addressing that virus and that activity here, by eliminating that, there's a little butterfly effect happening over here where you don't know what's going on?
That's entirely possible. We can only focus on one point at a time. Because as I said, to see to take the snapshot, we have to later destroy the particle. So we do need multiple copies of the things we're taking pictures of. It's like a stroboscope. We take snapshots at different parts of the cycle of the process.
So give us an example of how the process would work from ASU. Does ASU move up to Stanford for these tests?
Teams of students and postdocs. We live on airplanes, and of course. So I have a wonderful group of professors to work with. Petra Fromm in photosynthesis. Uwe Weierstahl is a genius in making instruments with the fantastic instrument shop we've got at ASU to make the scientific instruments we need. Brenda Hogue is involved with the viruses. We all have students and postdocs which will be funded by this grant, and they fly backwards and forwards to Menlo Park and go eat bad food and sleep in a cave for a week. And
How long is this particular endeavor going to last until?
Well, these things usually go 10 years.
Oh my goodness.
And for 10 years it's about $50 million grant. But that's between all the universities.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what does this mean for ASU's reputation, bioimaging, the whole 9 yards?
Well, it's very good for us. But I have to say that the big picture is we're very fortunate at this. We were the first users of this, the world's first X-ray laser, the Department of Energy built. But generally, the picture for young scientists in this country now is very poor. Since I came here 30 years ago, the chances of getting a grant from NIH and NSF is now the rejection rate's about 90%. And that will drive away young scientists from taking careers in academic research, unfortunately, which will mean the lead in research will go to other countries. So our grant is a wonderful thing to happen to ASU, but the general picture is pretty bleak.
Do you see that? Do you see kids coming in with an interest in science saying, I'm seeing the grants
I had
you're
a
getting?
student come into my office before. I've been here 30 years, and this has never happened to me. A student came to my office, he was leaving to get a job, and he looked at me and he said, John, I don't want to do what you do. And that's never
Interesting.
happened. He means constantly write grants.
Yes.
In a competition with a 90% failure rate, which
Yeah.
I think is actually worse than the failure rate for small businesses.
It does sound worse for them. Well, congratulations on
Thank
this
you.
particular success. Let's see where it leads, and we will certainly keep track of it. Thank you so much for
Thanks
joining
very
us.
much. Ted.
The Arizona Commission on the Arts received a one-time budget allocation of $1 million from the state legislature last session. The money is set to be used to support existing statewide grants and to develop new programs targeting innovative arts initiatives. Robert Booker is the Arts Commission's executive director. He joins us now. Good to see you again.
Great to be here. Great to be here.
One-time budget allocation, $1 million. How big a deal is that?
A big deal. It was the first time the agency was not cut in the last 5 years, and it was the first time the agency received a boost in funding. So it was a major deal, and it was a bill that was passed by bipartisan issues. So we had a great lead in Senator Farley. We had folks on both sides of the aisle really helping push this through. The money came from the Rainy Day Fund. It's the interest off of that fund. And the idea was we should put those dollars to work, and what better way to put them to work than increase the opportunities that the arts industry has for gaining our economy across Arizona.
So no impact on the general fund, interest off the Rainy Day Fund?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The impact on your grant making. Talk to us about grant making, the process, and what this does.
Sure. We took 70% of that $1 million and put it right into our annual grant making program, which goes out to arts organizations across the state. And we found that these organizations are part of the economic recovery of Arizona. They're part of the arts and education programs of Arizona. And we needed to reinforce their strength with a bit more money to really help them move through this economy. They were hit hard, and in many cases had to cut staff, had to cut programming. And so we are now in a recovery mode with the arts industry in Arizona, and a solid recovery mode. And these dollars did help to bring that about. And we, again, have to go back next year and try to capture the dollars again. But it's interesting to think that only $1 million can have the impact that it did across the state.
Let's talk about some of the new programs that this $1 million will help fund. The Community Catalyst grants. What are we talking about?
Well, we have two new programs. Community Catalyst is all about partnerships. The idea that two partners can do better than one. And so this is a program that enables nonprofit arts organizations to partner with a local business, with the Chamber of Commerce, with Tourism Visitors Bureau, with a social service group in their community to make an impact on that community, a positive impact on that community. And so it's all about partnerships. And we're also focused on small and rural communities as well. So we're really pushing this out to our smaller communities across the state.
Explain an enriching arts program to a community under 100,000 or so. Give me a description of what that could be.
It could be a partnership with the Chamber of Commerce to bring tourists to that community. It could be a partnership with the YMCA or the Boys and Girls Clubs to work on a safe park initiative. It could be a project working with a school system or with an elder care facility, providing arts and education in partnership with that. So it could be about safe streets, safe parks, taking care of our seniors. It could be taking care of our community. All of those things that arts and business can do together.
And the other new program, the other biggie here, Arizona Art Talk? Is that
Arizona Art Tank.
Tank. Oh, I'm sorry, I got that wrong.
And it's a great program. It is built after the Shark Tank show, quite frankly.
Yes.
And so what we're challenging our arts organizations to do is to come up with something that's innovative, that's new, that's creative, and they will present those programs, those ideas, to panels, local panels in 5 communities in Arizona. And that local panel of sharks, as you may say, will make the decision right there in the evening. And we'll also have an audience that will also get a small vote in awarding one of the tiny grants that go out in that. But the idea is that our arts organizations have been under fire since the economy went down. You know, they've been, really looking forward to just making the budget, keeping the things going, offering the programs they need. And quite frankly, they're kind of hunkered down. And so we believe and know that the arts are one of the most creative aspects of our community. And so why not encourage arts organizations to think outside the box, to think of something exciting?
Well, with that in mind, the criteria for this Art Tank,
Yes.
you got judges up here, they're all kind of looking and trying to pick and choose. What are they picking and choosing from?
They're picking and choosing from applications that come into the agency from nonprofit arts organizations that are planning a project that is innovative, new. We're calling it also business unusual. The idea that maybe there's something that you've always wanted to do with your arts organization in relationship to your community. Maybe there's a connection you've always wanted to make, or an idea for self-sustaining work, or an idea that may challenge the assumptions that people in your community have about your art form, and a way to develop more audience. All of those would be eligible.
It seems to me that all of this is reflecting a little bit of a change now in how arts organizations are funded, how art is distributed. I mean, this is forged by fire, it sounds like.
It is a huge change. With the reductions of the Arts Commission, remember that we had a $20 million endowment that was swept. We had a $2.3 million annual appropriation that is no longer existent. So when you're poor, you better be hardworking. And so what we decided is we turned our grant program upside down and focused on how our nonprofit arts organizations are serving Arizonans, how they're handling public dollars, so making sure that they're fiscally sound, and how they're relating to their own community. And those are the 3 criteria we used this last year in this new normal. Because we believe that the arts industry has a huge impact on Arizona, and it's our job to help move them forward and help keep them secure.
Real quickly, we have about 30 seconds left. This one-time allocation, what are the odds of it being a 2, 3, 4-time allocation?
I sure hope it can be. We will work hard with our friends at the legislature, our governor's office. She was supportive of this last initiative, so we thank her for that. Again, it's a bipartisan issue. It's an issue that serves Arizonans, and it's an issue that helps us be mindful of our future.
Bob, good to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
Great to meet with you, sir.
And Friday on Arizona Horizon, it's the Journalists Roundtable. The Corporation Commission holds hearings on incentives to solar power users, and Secretary of State Ken Bennett officially announces his candidacy for governor. Those stories and more on the Journalists Roundtable. That is it for now. I'm Ted Simons. Thank you so much for joining us. You have a great evening.
Arizona Horizon is made possible by contributions from the Friends of 8, members of your Arizona PBS station. Thank you.